Hey guys, you're listening to Quarantined with Sofi, a podcast where I interview a bunch of you guys and get an insight of what your quarantine has been like and a chance to let others know your viewpoint too. I hope you guys like it.
Okay.
Oh
Hey,
my
Olivia.
God.
All right, so you want to introduce yourself to the people? Let them know who you are?
The people being probably the Harry's group chat. Okay, bet.
Yes, pretty much.
Hi guys, it's Olivia. What's up? I'm in my bed and we're gonna do this podcast and I hope this becomes a thing for Sophie. I
Yeah.
honestly think you would do amazing.
Really, I
Uh,
feel like my voice is just super annoying, so it's like a
but
no for
everyone
me.
believes that about themselves. Trust me. I honestly think if you actually like grind on this, it would do really well. But I don't know. I'm thinking ahead.
Oh, well, that really gives me high hopes, but we'll see. This is just a little fun thing. All right. Well, um, I don't know if you guys already know this or not, but the podcast is going to be just me interviewing Olivia and maybe some of you guys, probably some of you guys. And so let's get into the questions. You ready for this?
This is so cute. I'm not gonna give her how cute this is. Okay, yes.
All right. Well, okay. I'm just gonna start off basic, okay? Like from the beginning before this, all this, like when this started to get real, okay? So,
Mm-hmm.
like, what, what do you think? Like, what was the last thing you remember doing, or like the last memory you had before they were like, okay, this is lockdown, everyone stay home, and if you go out, you have to wear a mask. Like, what was, if you don't remember exactly what you did, like, what was the like last memory or whatever you have?
Hello?
Did it cut out?
Okay, I know what you said though. I know what you said, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So you're talking about like like the week of like school when I guess the last memory I have was like there was a week of school where we were just looking forward to school being over.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to admit January, February, March, those were like pretty hard months for like at least a lot of people that
Mm-hmm.
I know. They weren't the best. Like it was kind of like a foreshadowing what would happen.
Yeah.
And it was just like my friends and I were really looking forward to not going to school anymore, which I'm so like ignorant and ungrateful for what we had, which we were. We were very ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the last like day we were at Ralph's hanging out. 'Cause that's what we usually do in the mornings
Mm-hmm.
before we meet up at school. And we were just like talking about, oh my god, like today better be the day
Yeah.
that they send us home and like all of our stuff because like I'm tired. Because I have to admit we were pretty drained,
Yeah.
but I will do anything to get what we had back. And we didn't appreciate it as much as we should have. And that's the last memory I have of being ungrateful for what we had.
No, yeah, like definitely. Like I remember before everyone was like, "Oh my God, I just when are they gonna send us home and everything?" Like I would
Yeah.
just want to go home. But the thing was like we didn't really realize that if it was bad enough to us have to be sent home, then like that just means holy shit, something. This is actually something really bad, and that just did not process for us like at all. but but yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was because yeah, like you said, like I did, it was like a rainy day, right? Like the last day of school. Yeah, and I remember like I was talking with like Alma, and she was saying to her dad like, oh yeah, like we finally got sent home or whatever, and then her dad like actually got mad because he's like, well, that just means that this is serious. And then it was like, holy crap, like yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
like
Like, it was okay. The thing is, though, is that yes, like I was aware that if we had to leave, it was going to be like serious and really bad. Like I obviously like we still were like pretty scared,
mm-hmm,
but like we were mainly thinking about, like oh school, like I have to wake up in the
yeah,
morning and like leave. 'Cause like I remember, oh my god, this was so bad. In my English class, the same day, remember there's like a bunch of announcements that day about COVID and like what we're
mm-hmm,
gonna do,
yeah,
how this is like, unprecedented. Like I remember that word being used a
mm-hmm.
lot. And this kid in the back of my class, no one like we didn't know, but he was like the annoying person that tried being a class clown when
Mm-hmm.
really like your dark humor isn't humor, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
He was like, yes, woo, started clapping.
No.
It was so bad. And I looked at him because, like, even though, yes, I wanted to leave, there's a time and a place,
Mm-hmm.
and it was too soon to do that. I was
Yeah.
like, people are dying, bro, and you are clapping. Like, it was so bad. And, like, my teacher, he looked at him, he was like, you know, a lot of homeless kids and people that like use our food to like take home at the end of the day, they're going to be hugely affected by this, and you
Mm-hmm.
clapping for that is disgusting because that
Yeah.
is a major factor. Like a lot of kids relied on school food
Yeah. Oh,
and
I
all
didn't think
that
of
and just like the
that.
school in
Yeah.
general. Yeah, it was, oh my god, it was so sad when he brought that up, and I was like, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, the fact that you're applauding over this major tragedy is like horrible. And like,
No,
and
yeah. Uh-huh.
this kid, in order to get his way out of that situation, was like, I was clapping because we're taking the we're finally taking the situation seriously.
Bull.
So
That's
like
bull.
now we're gonna leave the school and like we're gonna be safe. That's why I was clapping. Like that's the
Oh
like
my God. That is literally, oh my God.
like if you're
That's
gonna
literally
lie,
the
at least come
dumbest
up with better than
excuse.
that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like,
Like I
you
would
know what?
have
Just
like
take
respected him
ownership.
more.
Uh-huh.
Literally, I would have respected him more if he took ownership. I was like, my
Yeah.
bad, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he could have been,
Let's
yeah,
move
he could have been
on.
like, oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Like, I was just focused on like the no school aspect. Wow, that's
It was
crazy.
so bad. And
All
that's
right.
like I think what really like nailed the head on the coffin where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is serious. Like it isn't just like yeah, a disease, but also
Mm-hmm.
people that rely on school more than like we do are being affected by this.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, so this kind of segues into the next question, which is like, what was your initial reaction? Like, were you like did you expect, like, were you expecting it to go on for this long? Or were you like worried at all? Or were you just like, man, this will be over within like a few weeks or like a
Honestly,
month? Like, is this what you expected? I probably
this
not, but.
it felt like the last week of school felt like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It genuinely felt like a movie. Cause like okay, maybe not last week. Maybe like I have to admit, February, March felt like a movie. Because
Uh-huh.
that transition between February, everything's fine, to March, hell is like restart. Like, oh my god, it
It
was
felt
so bad.
so surreal.
I remember I was on Twitter. It was a cloudy morning.
Uh-huh.
See, like it was like this. It would even have like a setting because we live in California. It's
Yeah.
never rainy for this
Yeah.
long. So the fact that it was rainy for this long while a pandemic was gonna happen, like it was too aligned.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cloudy morning. I was on Twitter, you know, my morning newspaper, if you will. Um, and I saw a video of people in. I'm not sure if it was like. I think it was Japan, China. I don't want to say it wrong. Somewhere in Asia,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much people were passing out, and they were calling it the corona. They were passing out from the coronavirus
Yeah.
because we weren't aware of it yet,
Mm-hmm.
and people were just dropping from like I remember seeing a specific video of someone on this like waiting for their subway train,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like they were just like listening to music on their phone, and all of a sudden they pass out, and they were like it was the headline was like
Like just
people and
dropping.
blah blah blah
Uh-huh.
dropping dead because of the
Yeah.
not dropping dead, but like like passing
Yeah.
out because of the coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
And all I thought was, "Damn, that sucks." And I turned off my phone because I was able, like, because like I had the privilege of like that not happening here yet. So I just turned off my phone and moved on and didn't think about it for like the rest of the day.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's
And I was
terrifying.
like, I never would have. I was like, damn, that sucks. Thank God, like that's not happening here.
Yeah.
Turned it off, moved on. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have another like thought about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that was gonna happen when if Rona came here,
Yeah.
which it didn't. Which I'm grateful for. I'm glad I didn't see people pass out in the middle of the sidewalk, like you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what was your question?
Yeah, like I mean, I that's kind of like what was your reaction? Like were you scared? Like did you expect like this to go long? Like
Oh
what
no,
did
I
you
wasn't.
think?
I thought it would stay there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought it would stay where it was originated from or
Yeah.
whatever. And like, but then like, Trump didn't do what he had
No,
to
yeah,
do. And like,
100%. I thought this was gonna be something like Ebola, where it was only in one place. Like the thing that was so scary, I think for me, was the fact that this was like happening all over the world. Like there wasn't anywhere you could go to escape it. Like this was like you couldn't get away from it. Like it's everywhere, everywhere, like globally. And I think that was just what made it all like extra like real, because it's like, because normally like with other things, like it only affects one small area or part of the world, but then when it's something like this big, it's like, holy crap, this is serious. Like,
yeah.
and it's, oh, and then like you said, the weather was just making it so much worse for me. Like I never thought I'd say this, but I wanted the rain to go away. Like I was like, I can't handle it. Like, okay, I don't want to sound dramatic by saying I can't handle it, but it was like the rain just made it so much more just like awful.
Dramatic.
Yeah,
It was a very
yeah,
dramatic and serious situation to begin with. But
yes.
adding a cinematic feel
Hmm.
to it of like rain, clouds, and like stormy weather didn't
Hmm.
help the situation at all.
Okay, so next question. So along, like we said, like this was all just something very new, kind of scary. Like we didn't understand what was going on really. So in that sense, like what did you do to like try and maintain whatever like sanity or like relaxation you had? Like how, like what was your go-to thing to just calm yourself down or like keep your mind distracted?
Honestly, I did not. I did lose my sanity for a long time. That definitely, like, I did not avoid that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what really helped was FaceTiming like you or Kristen or like Jazira, just someone at least once a day or every other day
Mm-hmm.
to remind myself there are people outside of my bedroom. I am not, because my room, I can't even look outside in my room, Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's very isolating and very, yeah, that's a perfect word, very isolating. So FaceTiming you guys really did help me, like, remember that, like, I still have a life outside of my room.
Yeah.
Like I had a life before this quarantine started, and like everything's gonna be fine. Even though I did lose my sanity for like a good like couple months, that's for sure.
No, yeah. And
It was
like
very
that's
scary.
definitely expected, because it's like this is brand new. Like how do you cope with something like this? Like most of us had, like I'm pretty sure 99% of everyone had never experienced something to this gratitude. Like it was just like we're still it's still happening, but now it's just the new norm, I guess, which is sad to say, but it's just now we've just like, I guess, learned to live with it. Because I remember even at the beginning, like terrifying to even go out to the grocery store, and now it's just like, okay, whatever, yeah, everyone just wears masks.
That's the bad part, though.
Mhm.
That's the on Twitter where they were like all the other countries, like a lot of countries are over it now. They're fine. A lot
Yeah,
of the countries just wanted to change the environment that they were forced to be in, like
yeah,
COVID, like COVID, blah, blah. But America adapted to it, and now we're
yes,
living with it,
yeah,
and that's not okay.
yeah. Like I see these places in other parts of the country where they literally have had zero cases within like for like 2 weeks straight or something like that.
Zero
And
parts of
it's,
the country, or zero parts of like the world.
well, I don't remember where, but there was a girl who I saw on Twitter who, in where she lived, they hadn't had any cases. And I was just like, wow, like can you imagine that? Like it's so sad to see how, like you said, that's a perfect way to put it. We just learn to live with it, which is awful. We shouldn't do that. Like we should have taken the, well, then again, we live in a country where, one, the person running the country is terrible, okay, like, I'm gonna say it in the wise words of Niall Horan, okay? The man wouldn't even run a mile, let alone a country. Anyways,
Yeah.
and then because of him, and then we also have these stubborn people who are like, it's my right, you're taking away my rights, I don't want to wear a mask, like I can't breathe, shut up, like literally. And because things like that, it's just like, so
Honestly, and like I just hate that because like Donald Trump did not like create racism. He didn't create ignorance. He didn't create any of that. He is just a very big promoter of it all. And the
mhm.
fact that the biggest promoter we can possibly like think of is president
Yeah.
really does like add fuel to the fire we already had before he
Yeah,
was in office.
I know, it's and it's just, it's, and okay, leading into the next question, like, do you think that like any good came out of this? Because yes, there is like a lot of bad because of Trump and like all the things he is promoting. However, there have been new, not new movements, but like another wave, I guess, of the movement, like Black Lives Matter. Do you think all of that would have happened without the virus?
I think things definitely did intensify for sure because people were forced to be more aware of their surroundings and
Mm-hmm.
how people are treated and what's happening. For sure, that's one of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't say it's a good thing that the pandemic happened. Like, if any good word come out of it, I wouldn't say that because like black people had to like have to die in order for people to care.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't really say that's a good thing, but I would definitely say that I have definitely grown more educated on the topic than I would
Mm-hmm.
have before, which is really a heartbreaking. I wish
Yeah.
those weren't the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I think if any good came out of this is that all of us have became more educated and more like morally aware
Mm-hmm.
and I guess more empathetic. I guess you can say.
Speaking of growth, do you think, because like you said, you definitely like became more aware of the topic, educated yourself more, and just grew like as a whole and just became more aware, right? Do you
Yeah.
like, with growing, do you think like aside from political issues, like just you personally, like have you discovered anything new about yourself or any new hobbies you might have, or just anything you're like, oh wow, because we have had a lot of time to ourselves, so it's definitely a perfect opportunity to just like, I guess in a way, which is kind of cliche, but like soul searching, just to figure out who you are.
Damn, Sophie Herrera. Okay, hitting me with these good questions.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm sticking to this. Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go all the way.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think it's one thing that we have to be isolated. It's another thing that at the end of the day, you're kind of alone
Mm-hmm.
with all the isolate with being isolated and everything being so intense.
Yeah.
And it's just like I feel like I learned that I am someone at the end of the day
Mm-hmm.
because of course it's good to like of course I think you everyone should check up on their friends, make sure everything's okay with them and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I learned it was a good reminder that I am a person and I am just as important to take care of as it is to my friends, my family, people that
Mm-hmm.
I care about. Like I think this one piece of advice that I like learned on like so someone I've read it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you're okay. I texted it to someone today
All
because I
right.
remember
All
they were
right.
like, you know, I
Dang,
had it on
Olivia
my phone.
hitting us with the quotes. This segment is gonna be
So it
called the
said,
Quotes with Liv. Life lessons with Liv.
no, it's like, oh, that is so cute. Oh my god, girl, you'll make me do a podcast. Stop. Okay.
Oh my god, that would be such a good name. Life lessons with Liv. Oh my god, what if we all
I'm gonna
have
write that
Pokemon?
down.
Oh my god, that is so cute. Trademark.
Okay. Yeah, I read somewhere how someone at the end, you are someone at the end of the day. Apologizing slash forgiving yourself is just as important as doing so to like for others.
Oh, I like that. Oh,
Like,
before you go on, I also saw you tweeted something which I loved so much. You tweeted this today. Let me pull it up on my phone. It was such a cute thing. Here, hold on. Give me one
I
second.
think I know what you're talking about. Do you want me to grab it since my phone's
Yes,
here?
yes, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. It was something along the
Okay.
lines where it's like you haven't met all the people you're gonna love or something like that.
Okay. You haven't met all the people you will love yet.
Oh, yes. See, Olivia's so good with just like little inspo things, little pick me ups.
No, they're all on Pinterest. Yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, I saw that on Pinterest the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and that was such a beautiful like sentiment to think about. Like, because I feel like with especially with again the pandemic, everything that's going on, it's very easy to forget there's a future
Yeah.
outside of this pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I let my emotions get the best of me, and I'm like, what's the point of trying anymore?
Yeah.
Because things aren't getting better. It's almost the year's almost over. Like, we're at the same place. Like, I hate it here. And
Yeah.
I
Like it's
saw that, and I was like, I have so many people to meet. And I'm gonna fall in love. I'm gonna become best friends with people that I don't even know yet.
yeah.
And that is just such a
Crazy.
beautiful thing to think about.
That is so crazy to think that like you haven't met half the people who are gonna be in your life. Like what it's just it's so mind-boggling that there's just so much ahead and you just don't know anything. Like it's all oh, like this reminds me of this quote from The Good Place. Um, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of like, the thrill is in the mystery or something like that. And just the not knowing, I guess, is what makes it all so worth it and just what makes you want to keep going. Because when you remember, hey, there's so much more I don't know. There's so much more in my life I still haven't experienced that I still am waiting for. Like it's just like a perfect thing to remind you you got to keep trying. You got to keep on going. Like yeah, it sucks right now and like we can't do what we want, but there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, which as cheesy as it sounds, I know, but it's like it's true like the whole
Yeah,
meaning not I'm not going to say meaning of life, but like just the mystery and the not knowing in the future is just what makes everything just so worth it. And it's like, okay, I can do this. Like, I
exactly.
want to know what's at the end.
Yeah. Oh, that is such a beautiful. Oh my God, yes, 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 100% yes to all of that.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like to answer your question from before, I think to sum up all I was gonna say really
Mm-hmm.
was I just learned the things that I need to do to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't doing that before the pandemic, I wasn't doing it during, and I guess now where I'm at right now, I definitely did learn that I need to take care of myself because I'm just as important as those around me.
Well, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, moving on, like speaking about the future and like not knowing, like, what are your predictions? Like, it could be about yourself
Girl.
personally, about maybe
Oh,
the
okay.
state of like the world, about the pandemic, anything. What do you think is next in either your life or in just in the world in general?
I'm answering both the questions.
All right. All right. Olivia's going for the kill.
I'm answering.
Double
I'm going
shot.
harder. I'm going. Yes. What do you call it? So for like the world wise, I guess I'm not gonna say the world. I'm gonna say the country.
Mm-hmm.
This election is probably the most important one. I think we are gonna have to vote
Please tell me
in.
you're voting.
I registered today.
Okay,
You're
thank
welcome.
God. Thank God. Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. I do appreciate
you're
that. I
welcome.
can't vote just yet.
Yes, but um, this I think that I genuinely believe with my whole heart this election will determine the rest of our lives. And I know this sounds so stupid, but this
No,
pandemic
it
has affected
will.
so many people.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be the most important one yet, and it's my first one. So like future wise, I genuinely feel like the only way for it to be brighter is
Mm-hmm.
if Joe and Camila win. That's for sure. So that's
Okay,
my viewpoint on the future.
I'm gonna
What?
be okay. I'm gonna ask you this right now. This is just a little side question, but
Yeah.
do you think? Okay, I hate to say this, but it's just with the first election, no one imagined that Trump would win. No one thought he would.
Technically, he didn't win, which is the
Okay, well,
annoying part.
no, okay. Yeah, I know because of the popular vote and all that, but obviously it comes
Yeah.
down to um
The electoral office.
yeah,
Electoral college? Electoral? I don't know. I'm not educated. Just
no,
kidding. I don't know about
the
that.
electoral vote. It comes down to the electoral vote. I
Yeah.
think if I'm wrong, check me on that. But anyways, it always comes down to that. So I do you think that it's gonna happen again where Biden gets the popular vote and Trump wins again, or do you really honestly think that he's just gonna lose overall?
Okay. Okay. We live. Okay. To answer that question, I am completely. I hope and pray with
Mm-hmm.
every fiber in my being that that doesn't happen
Yeah.
again.
Mm-hmm.
But since we live in LA, it is very the information we are getting as people that live in Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
isn't the information we're getting from people that live in like Missouri
Mm-hmm.
and like Kansas. Because I know
Yeah.
like states like that over there are very supportive of Trump, and we all
Yes.
forget that because LA is so
Yes.
diverse and so democratic.
Um,
So I don't know. That's I just don't know because I don't know how much like what percent of the country believes in Donald Trump fully.
yeah. I know.
But
Oh, it's just okay. Well, you continue with your prediction of if
yeah,
you want
so
to go
I
first. Yeah.
predict that things will get better if Joe and
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in office. But personally, I my future. What is my future hold, Olivia?
A Harry Styles
Um,
concert, possibly.
I'm gonna cry if it doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna fucking cry. It's literally it's all I wanted and more.
I know.
Don't even get me started on that. You know what, Harry? Like, go leave. You're making me sad. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but um, I'm just gonna continue to like. Okay, future wise is just me.
It's just you.
Just me.
Just you.
Just
That's a
me.
good answer. I like that
I just
answer.
want to become my best friend. That's it.
You can't love
That's
others until you love yourself.
exactly. And like I do.
You know
I
what?
love myself.
I
I love
hope the
everyone, but
future holds a boyfriend for the both of us. I mean, we each have our own,
bro,
but just like for each.
dog. Can I be bro? I was like, okay, Olivia, I would like to think I'm a very career driven person because I
Mm-hmm.
know what I want to do. I know how I'm gonna do it. A B C D. I know how to get there.
Yes.
But not but no buts.
But,
But
but.
I always think, do I want a family in my future, or has society
Oh.
molded my brain
Oh, wow.
to think that because I'm a woman, I need to use my uterus?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I always think about relationships and like wanting a boyfriend because society says my value is what men give me?
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I think in this head, this
Mm-hmm.
brain.
Yeah.
So like that's why I'm saying my future, I'm just me. My
Yeah.
career, getting out of high school, what do you call it? Figuring out how I want to express myself and like
Mm-hmm.
all of that. My future is me, that's for sure.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that answer. That's a very good answer. So I'm just letting y'all know, all the listeners, you're gonna have to try and top that eventually. So I don't know how you will, but you
I don't know
gotta.
how you
Okay, well, this is second to last. It's not really a question, but I call it pick me ups for the people. Okay, is there anything you want to say to everyone or the
To make
Harry's
people feel
group chat
better.
or whoever is listening, anything you want to say to them, or just maybe a little inspo, or like just a little hi, or like what you're up to, just anything at all, anything at all you want to let, anything you want to let them know.
Ooh, damn, bro. Dang, I kind of wish you asked me this question before,
The
so I
last one
could,
is kind of,
so I
the
could.
last question is kind of a bit trickier.
I think. Okay. What's something I
You're
want
just,
to tell?
for
Because
the benefit of the listeners, Olivia's looking around her room, I think, for inspiration on what to say.
I know I'm trying to find inspiration. Uh,
It looks like you're sitting on a couch, like a
I'm sitting
green
on my
velvet
bed.
couch.
No, what do you call it? I think all I'm gonna say is say yes to things.
Say yes to things. You know,
Say yes to things.
in eighth grade, this is just a little off the subject,
A
but
little tangent.
in eighth grade, we had, Emily's will know what I'm talking about, but in eighth grade, our English teacher had us do these like almost resolutions, I guess, at the end of the year. And she was just like, what's a goal or whatever. And I wrote down, say yes more, because when you say things like that, you manifest the opportunities to say yes more. And I'm not kidding. After that, I found so many opportunities and just ways for me to say yes and open up more and just be more like, I guess, like, just, I don't want to, not daring, that's not a good word for it, but like just more like open to new things and new ideas and just trying new things. So that's a
You
very good
became
one.
more of like an opportunist. You're like,
Yeah, there
okay,
you
like I have
go.
more options now that I'm saying
Yeah,
yes.
exactly, exactly. All right, well, here's the last one.
I'm kind of nervous for
This
this
one's a
last
bit,
question. What is
I
it?
mean, there's no reason to be nervous. It's more personal. It's similar to the one I just asked you. But is there anything you want to say to your future self later on? Maybe you go back and listen to this. Is there
Stop!
anything you
Shut
want to
up! That
tell?
is so cute. Okay. Something I want to tell my future self.
Yeah. Or anything you want to
I
say that
hope.
maybe you'll want to hear later on.
Okay, this I'm gonna tell my future self this, because I know my future self is still gonna be a pain in the ass for doing this. You gotta stop taking life so fucking seriously. Like, I understand, like, there's a time and place to be serious, but those
Mm-hmm.
times and places you're being all serious and all like, oh, like life or death situation. Like, nah, bro, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. You're fine. You're gonna be fine. Like, you gotta chill. Like, I'm just gonna tell my future self to calm down, because I know that she's probably listening to this stressed out,
Mm-hmm.
crying, contemplating her existence. You're gonna be fine. You've always been
Okay.
fine at the end of the day, haven't you?
In the wise words of Mr.
Yeah.
Harold Styles, don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Well,
That was beautiful.
I have a question for Future Liv. How are you
What is the
doing?
question?
How are you doing with that? What's his name? Vinny, the Vinny kid. That, how's how, how's that going for you? Like, I'm sure you know what? You're okay. You're better. You're better than that. Like, you know your worth, and it's not determined by who
I
this
am
irrelevant
so
boy
red right now.
is.
I am so red right now. Oh my god. Sophie, you really had to call me out. You know what? What would be so funny? This is so stupid, but I don't care.
You're dating this
Never mind,
kid
I'm
in
not
the
even gonna say
future.
it.
You're dating this kid in the future. Is that what you're gonna say? Yep, that's okay.
And he hears this, he's like, oh.
Were you into me before I met you? And you're just like, of course
No,
not.
that's not gonna happen. Bro, I don't even want to say this anymore. Because like just the whole thing even sadder.
Dude, listen, all our minds wander to the most bizarre place. You want to know what I was thinking the other day? Like, this is just the big imagination I have. Like, me and my big brain just thinking. Okay, so as you know, Harry Styles is currently in Los Angeles. However, this is where it literally gets completely absurd, because he has a home in Los Angeles. He has several homes actually here in LA, and like, he's gonna stay in those. But my mind was like, because so in my neighborhood there's a house across the street that just went up for sale, and it was bought literally within a few days, but no one knows who bought it. Like there wasn't anyone there like looking, like it was just bought. Like no one in our neighborhood knows who purchased it. And my mind was like, oh my god, this is gonna sound crazy and you're gonna think I'm crazy. But what if Harry Styles bought a house in a little neighborhood because he knows that he won't get like people looking for him in a small little neighborhood?
Sophie, it's that. Can I tell you what I was thinking about today?
What were you thinking about today?
I was literally thinking, because like in my neighborhood, they do a lot of filming for like movies and music videos. And I was thinking, what if they film like in my neighborhood?
Oh my god.
Why are we in the same level? Why are we in the same
You know, we have bright imaginations. And
Honestly, that's not a very far-fetched idea. I know you think
no.
you're sounding ridiculous, but I feel like, why is it an anonymous fire?
Yeah. Well, you just fed into
Imagine
my
you see
theory.
them
So
on morning runs. What if you see them on morning runs?
imagine.
I will literally run to your house every single day. I'll be like, I'm in the neighborhood. Oh my god, hi.
You just wanted to stop
I'm
by,
running
say
like
hello.
10 blocks
Oh
to your
my.
house. I'm in the neighborhood. I swear.
All right.
Oh my
Well,
god.
that was okay. So I'm gonna let y'all know now. So yes, the podcast is gonna be called Quarantine with Sophie, but today's episode was called Quarantine with Liv. And next up, we're gonna have Quarantined with Kristen, and we'll see how that goes. So look forward to that, guys.
That is you. I'm so excited. I'm actually really excited. You're making me want to do life lessons with Liv.
Hey, I think the people would like to hear it. So I think you should think about it because people want to hear it. And just so you guys know, I'm gonna let y'all have a little for. I should have said this at the beginning, but there's definitely gonna be some glitching in here because yeah. So sorry
Oh
about
yeah.
that if you hear little glitches or staticky sounds. So I
Yeah, she's on a tech
apologize for that.
team. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have
Like
a
you're not
huge
gonna.
budget. Okay, I don't have any
Yeah, she has a Zoom
sponsors.
call and a mic from Amazon. Okay, so
You didn't have to come at me like that. Wow. Wow.
I'm
That was
sorry.
that was a hit. That was a direct hit. A direct hit. All right.
Hey,
Well,
you brought up a TikTok boy. I know
okay.
your tech. I'm
All
sorry.
right. It's fair. It's fair. We'll call it even eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We made it this far. I hope you enjoyed it. This was Quarantined with Sophie / Quarantined with Liv. And I will see you
Mhm.
guys next week on Monday night with Kristen. So, bye
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.